The Florida Panthers have a serious problem this season. No, it's not the injuries to some of their star players. It has to do with the fact that they are 5-5-1 right now. That record should be better, and the reason why it isn't is because of one fatal flaw. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews, as always. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there down below. You guys need to stay up to date with anything and everything that's to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Once again, the Panthers do have a serious problem this season. Besides the war of attrition that they are battling right now, they have a problem on offense. They can't score. They're one of the worst teams in the league with goals for per game. Pretty much every offensive category for them is near the bottom of the league. I'm going to show you guys in just a moment, but I'm also going to talk about maybe a couple of possible trade scenarios. Again, I'm not saying that they are happening, just a couple of trade scenarios that other insiders have been putting out there. A little bit of rumor mill churning, not 100%. Again, I don't believe Bill Zito will try to pull the trigger anytime soon. The loss that we had in overtime against the Ducks, well, Gadjevich was gone. Marchand was gone. They battled back. Awesome. But should have won that game. Outplayed the Ducks clearly. Again, the lack of offense has been killing this team so far this season. Do I think it could get better? Absolutely. But it's going to take a possible trade for that to happen. We've seen a couple of instances where they've been able to score at will, if you want to call it that. But so far this season, not so good. Let's take a look at it, guys. Here we go. So defensively, these are the standout things for this Florida Panthers team. They are actually very good defensively. Their goaltenders, we already know, Tarasov and Bobrovsky. Well, mainly Bobrovsky has been playing phenomenal. And yeah, Tarasov too. I mean, they are doing as much as they can to try to help this team stay in games and possibly win them. And it's not really their fault. They've had some miscues defensively, which I've shown all of you in some of these post-game analysis videos where I've broken down about 30 seconds of footage from the games where we're out of position defensively, we turn the puck over, something along those lines, or we're not as aggressive. And that's the other thing with this team. They're not as aggressive forechecking as they were last season. That's another area where this team is usually used to being very aggressive in the forecheck, making sure this puck stays in the offensive zone. They have not been able to do that as effectively this season as they did last season. That means not a lot of chances if you're not getting on the forecheck and being as aggressive as they are. And we've seen it. So defensively, things are great. 8th in goals against average at 2.73. In terms of shots against, we only have 260 shots against us. That 30th means if I was to rank this from the team that has the most shots against them, well, we're not at the top of that. We're at the bottom of that list at 30th, which is great. That means we're doing a great job defensively. So again, that's that. And then goals against average, 30th. Goals against, we have 30, and we are 22nd in the league, which is great for our team, again, defensively. And goaltending has been very solid. And then our save percentage, we're right in the middle of the league. We're 15th at an 8.98 save percentage. But here's where things don't look good. You guys can't really see that well. I do apologize for that, but I'll make it really simple for you guys. We are 29th in the league. Goals per game at 2.45. We're down to the bottom of the league with the Rangers, the Calgary Flames, with the Wild. I mean, it's not a good look for this Cats team. It's not. So we're also 30th in total assists at 46, 31st in total points offensively at 73. One area that is good but not good is our expected goals for on a given game is third in the league at 3.6, which means we are getting those high danger shots, those high danger area opportunities. We just can't put them away. I've said this again. We're shooting at the goaltenders for some reason and not shooting for the open areas around the goaltenders. We're not moving the puck like we did last season, swinging it from side to side, making the goalie work, making the defense work, finding the open man cross ice. That is where our bread and butter is. And that's any team in the NHL, really. If you have a cross ice pass to a wide open player or maybe a partially covered player but can still have a solid saucer pass or whatever the hell it is right on their stick, you're going to score probably 9 times out of 10 if you're putting that shot on net. The goaltender's not going to be able to be quick enough if you're doing a cross ice pass, one-time shot to the back of the net, or a pass to a player that has a really wicked wrist shot that can just get the puck off his stick fast. That's what this team needs to get back to doing, is playing the style of hockey that they know how to play offensively. So they have not been great offensively. And one thing I want to say, though, is tomorrow night's game, the good news is Marchand will be back. Maybe Jonah Gadjevich. I don't know yet. So far, he's still on the injury report, but let's cross our fingers he can get back to playing. And for those of you who do have been following Brad Marchand and what he's been doing with JP McCollum and McCollum's loss of his daughter, Sella, you guys can go online and find, it's called Strength for Sella. Her name is spelled S-E-L-A-H. You guys can donate. They're doing a GoFundMe account, so you guys can actually donate money there if you would like to. So just a little quick snippet. I know it's kind of out of nowhere, but for those of you who do want to support the cause for what he's doing and for their family, please, please, please go on there and support that. That is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to support a family and the cause that they are trying to do. Their Strength for Sella, okay? So anyways, still moving forward. Offensively, not a good year for us. They have to start picking things up. We can't just be averaging having 2 goals in a game, 1 goal in a game, and the shutout that we've already given up this season. That's not a good start. This is not Panthers hockey that we know. Obviously, guys have to change their style of play. So guys that are rumored to be out there, Braden Schneider. He is a young kid, 24 years old, big defender, 6'4", 213 pounds. He's been very healthy the last few seasons. That is the good point here. He's had a very good plus minus. He's a solid defender. 1 year left on his contract at $2.2 million. So the Cats, if they did want to try to do something, which I said in the last video, is if they want to try, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. If they want to try to make a trade and maybe get a little deeper defensively, this is one of those guys I think they could trade for. And there are rumors out there that with the New York Rangers not playing that well, and if they continue to play the way that they are playing, that they might start trading guys. And this is one of those players that they're thinking about doing away with, is Braden Schneider. So I wouldn't say he's a bad fit. I mean, I think he's an upgrade to Petrie. If you would look at this, yes, he's a little bit more money. In the offseason, work out a deal with him. He's on the last year of his contract. Let's see how that one plays out. He's not a bad player. Very big, very physical. He's still able to put the puck on the net. He's a good passer, great two-way player. Like I said, very physical style of play. Really like him. Young. They can mold him. They could probably work out a great contract for him where he's not going to have to, you're not going to have to break the bank for him, hopefully. But again, just food for thought in that. And then here's another man. This one's very far-fetched. I'm just throwing it out there. How about we get back to an old friend of ours in Vinny Trocheck? Obviously, all those years with Florida in the beginning of his tenure in the NHL. We drafted him a long time ago, guys. Had some great years here in Florida. Has had some great years in the last few seasons. Has been healthy overall, more or less. Very good plus minus in the last several seasons. He's able to, we all know he can score. We know he can pass. He's a very, very good player. He's a great leader. But the problem is he still has 4 years left on his deal, and he's getting $5.625 million a year. I think it's too pricey. I don't think we want to give up a whole lot to get him, but I think Schneider would be a better play for the Cats, especially because younger, big, and we need someone there to fill up that last defensive pairing. Right now with Kulikov being out, and we don't know when we will see him return. Again, they said 5 to 6 month recovery. Will we see him back this season? Will we not? I don't know, but it's almost an even trade if you want to talk about getting younger. Yes, Kulikov, if he's out the season, it's kind of you're renting him for the year, and then he's got a brand new contract starting next season. Can you get a little bit cheaper with him, and then you can let Petrie go? Find a way to keep that young guy around and work on him and get his chemistry ready with the team. I think it's a great idea. Trocheck, a little bit more far-fetched. And then there's one other guy I was going to say is Nazem Kadri. He could be great. A lot of rumors, a lot of analysts are saying, hey, pointing to the Florida Panthers trying to make something happen. Obviously, with Barkov being out, he would be a great fit for this team because he could still score. He could still score. He could still play. He's shown it already this season. I know in his contract, there's a lot of wording in there in terms of when are they able to trade him. I think he has to play a specific amount of games with the Calgary Flames in order to be traded. He does have a no movement clause in there. There's several teams he's not able to be traded to. But anyways, it's something that could still be there, but he has a lot left on his contract. Again, I already brought this up several episodes ago. He could be a phenomenal fit because he can help with our offensive woes right now. He could definitely be that 1C that we need this season if Barkov does not return at all. But right now, he is not on the non-roster LTIR, so we only have the $3.8 million exception right now, not a $10 million exception. So that will not be able to work. However, rumors are churning out there about him from very reliable sources. So anyways, we're going to keep moving forward. So right now, I want you guys to take a look at this roster. This is the Dallas Stars roster who we're going to be facing tomorrow night. Mikko Rantanen, who's having another phenomenal season, 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points on the season. And Wyatt Johnston is having a great season as well. And we all know Jason Robertson. I brought him up, and I was like thinking maybe they could trade for him. There's nowhere. He's not going anywhere. He's obviously going to stay in. So they are a very dangerous team this season. Can we beat them? Absolutely. We're playing at home. I think this is something where I think the Cats will turn it around. Better game for them. I think Bob is going to be in goal. They have not talked a lot about the lines today at practice. I think we'll find out more tomorrow, obviously, who the starters will be, who the starter will be in net, as well as who the lines will be. I think there's going to be a little bit of movement, not a whole lot. Obviously, Marchand's going to be back on that second line with Lucian and Lundell. Maybe they will be the top line of the night. I know we've usually seen the Verhaeghe, Rhino, and Samoskevich, or Verhaeghe, Rhino, and, I mean, you name it, Erod, whoever it is, that first line sometimes, that'll be the first line. Sometimes it'll be the Lucian and Marchand and Lundell line. But we'll see. The more interesting one is going to be that fourth line. Again, not a whole lot has been happening offensively for this Cats team. They have to get back to what they were doing 2 games ago and throw the puck at the net, get as many scoring chances as they possibly can, and don't shoot the puck at the goaltender. Try to be a little bit more. We have to work the sides of the crease, not directly in front of the goaltender. That's the thing, especially on odd man rushes. We have to stop going down the middle, in between the circles, going right at the goaltender. We have to be somewhere across from the other player. That's what these guys have to start realizing. Create a little bit more space, get more outside of that middle part of the ice in your offensive third when you're on an odd man rush, and even when you're not in an odd man rush, and move the puck across. Go back door if you have to. Go all the way across. Try to find your way, maybe not to the middle of the circle, but somewhere in between, like the middle of the circle and the inside of the circle. Give yourself a little more room so that way the goalie has to come all the way across the crease instead of having him move. I mean, it's a lot harder to go across the crease when you got to go 4.5, 5, 6 feet from the one end to the polar opposite side than it is just having to move 2 or 3 feet. Makes sense, right? All right. So anyways, let's keep going here. So goaltending for the Dallas Stars has been pretty solid this year. Oettinger, 2.54 goals against, .913 save percentage. He's been very good. He's got 5 wins, only 2 losses. They're back up in DeSmith. 1 win, 1 loss. I don't know who we're going to see yet, but I just want to show you those numbers. And we're going to keep going here. Sorry, that was from last game. So we're going to go right back here. So, yeah, Panthers' woes continue offensively. We've got to see something change here. And Coach, Paul Maurice has something to say about it. And here it is. This is Paul Maurice on the Panthers offense right now. We think there will be a revision to the mean there. Instead of sitting here waiting for it to come or for guys to score, it's a work in progress. They're trying to make something happen. That's why they're trying to shake up some of these lines. I know they're working on things in practice. They've been trying to figure out a better scheme with the current players that they have, the lines that they have, and the chemistry that's there, the talent that is there. Not an easy thing. I am not an NHL coach. Thank God I'm not, because it is not an easy job to try to find ways to make these guys score goals. Here's Paul Maurice continuing with the offense and everything. We want to add something to our whatever that is. I will fight the urge to say we're trying to change some things. There are some things we can't do. Fine. So we have to find other ways to play the game, other ways to win games and to score. We're a little challenged in that right now. So I think it was we wanted to do something. We wanted to add something to our game. Excuse me. That's what that was. The E was left out there. I have to talk to the person that wrote that for me. But anyways, so the Cats are trying to find a way to figure something out offensively in practice. We're starting to see a little bit more aggressiveness by them in the offensive third. Again, it is leading to scoring chances for the other teams. We've seen shorthanded goals already. That's what we saw in the Ducks, against the Ducks. We had plenty of opportunities with our odd man rushes, but again, we need to be able to control the puck. We can't have too many giveaways, more aggressive on the forecheck so that way we're keeping the puck in our offensive third, and we just can't have stupid turnovers. We can't. We've got to be smart. We've got to be smart on the puck and have a lot of movement when we have it. Get it off the stick as quickly as possible. And we also have to have movement off the puck. These guys can't just be standing still and become statues out there, because you're not going to give yourself a good opportunity to score. Better shots come from more movement around the ice and around the puck. If a guy has the puck and he's going blue line to blue line, everybody else should try to be moving around a little bit. Keep the puck moving. Keep it moving. Guys have to keep circling around. They've got to keep that motion that will confuse the defense and it'll give us better options to score. So anyways, guys, so tomorrow night, Dallas Stars, last game of our homestand, and then we'll be on the road. Have some tough ones on the West Coast. Hopefully it will go well for the Cats, because I already called it. If this road trip does not go well, and let's say whatever happens tomorrow night, so be it. If the Cats do not perform well on this road trip, I do think Bill Zito, we might start hearing some more rumors, or we might see him pull the trigger on some sort of a trade. Because if they can't score and there is no offense, they need to figure something out now. We can't wait for Matthew Tkachuk to come back in December, in a month and a half from now, or whatever it might be when he is back. We don't know exactly when in December that would be. Is it mid-December? Is it the end of December? Who knows? We can't wait. Again, you fall too far in the standings points-wise, you'll never be able to catch up. You won't even be able to make it to the playoffs. And that's what this Cats team does so well, is they don't care if they're first in their division or if they just sneak into the playoffs. They just have to get into the playoffs. That is it. If they do that, they're in good shape, but they can't fall too far behind too early in the season. And again, you have to start playing catch up and hope that the other teams are going to start going on losing streaks and you stay on winning streaks. You can't hope for that kind of stuff, not with the kind of play that the Cats have so far after 11 games in the season. Am I panicking? Absolutely not. No, but I'm just saying 5 games from now, 16 games into the season to 20 games into the season, if the Cats are still hovering around that middle, like that 4th or 5th position in the Atlantic Division, they have to do something. They're going to have to do something. Can't wait for Barkov to come back in the playoffs, because if you don't make it, there's no point. Can't wait for Tkachuk. Going to be too late. I mean, you're already going to be 30 games into the season by then. So something's got to be done sooner than later. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. I'll have another episode coming tomorrow, a little pregame maybe some talk about the line changes that may or may not happen. Again, not a lot has come out about practice yet. Again, this video is coming a little bit earlier. So, yeah, I'll have one out for you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much, and go Cats.